So this is what I'm starting out with. Just a hole in the dash. When he bought this truck, when my son bought this truck, 5 or 6 years ago, there was no stereo in it. You can see they just cut all the wires and pulled the stereo out. He's like me. He'd rather listen to the road and the car than listen to music while driving. So he's never had anything installed inside of that dashboard. So I decided to put this Stryker into my son's truck, into the Ford Ranger. It's a super cool radio, and this one peaks out at about 40 watts AM and FM. The original wire, there we go, now we're focused on it. You see on the right, those two short little red and black wires? That's the original wires that come out of the radio. Then I soldered on that red and black wire to those short little nubs so that I could have that in line. I put a 20 amp fuse in line. I think that's it. And I poking around at his firewall, and right behind the battery at the firewall was this nice plug. So I put a little slice in it to slip the wire into it, and then I'll seal it up with silicone. So I have it wired direct to the battery with a fuse on both ends of the wire. I got lucky, that rubber plug sending the wire right in through there worked out fantastic. So connecting the antenna first, while I can still spin the radio around some in there and get my hands in there to put the coax on the back of the radio. You can see my metal brackets. Can you see that? That attaches to that plexiglass plate, and then with the thumb screws goes to the radio. So the radio is good and secure to that plexiglass. I just now need to secure the plexiglass to the truck. Well, I was trying not to take the dashboard apart because I knew once I took it apart that would mean I would have to clean it. Well, I had no choice. I had to take it apart in order to get that in there. I did not want to modify the dash at all, so I made that trim plate, and it just has those 4 screws pinching it against the truck's, dashboard framing, I guess that is. And then once I put the panel back on that's over here right now, clean that and put it back on. That's a lot of years of dust hiding behind that thing. But get that cleaned up and put back on, it will cover up half of those screws. Well, I need to make some kind of a filler plate to go in around the radio, but the radio's all in there good and secure now. Now I'm just gonna have to make the finish panel for it, just to hide all those screws and those carriage head bolts. Cut on channel 6 right now, as you can hear. Alright, we just got to do a road test on this thing. Actually, I haven't showed you the antenna yet. Let me show you the antenna next. So up on the roof, there's just a little center-loaded 2-foot antenna. It's not like the kind you get at Walmart. It's actually a good quality one. Just a basic little antenna, magnetic mount. And I ran it down, and lucky for me, Ford left that nice gap in the end of that weather stripping. And then I just tucked it in behind the weather stripping here. It comes out, and it comes out down in here and goes under the dash and over to the radio. So I have my AnyTone set up here in the garage. I'm going to get into the truck and drive it a couple miles away and just do a quick test, transmit test from that radio to this one. I'll have the camera set up here while I'm in the truck. Alright, let's get to that. I'm going to get in that truck and try out that little Stryker, and we'll see what it sounds like on the air.
Testing out this little Stryker. It's a Stryker SR 94 HPC. Little digital faced radio. Very cool little radio. Checking it out and seeing how it sounds on the air. Try it with a little higher power, a little more power coming out of this little Stryker SR 94 HPC, little tiny Stryker, doing 40 watts of power. Little Stryker.
The cover is finished. It's not perfect, but we're talking about a 1994 work truck here. I think it looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. All right, while we have the radio on and we're right here, let's get off of channel 6. Let's go to the channel in between 19 and 20, and I'll show you the SWR of the radio. The bottom scale right there will turn into SWR when I key up the mic. That little antenna tuned out pretty well. I'm happy with that. No activity on 19, just on 6. Oh, I went right past it. Just a little bit on 6. I gotta get him to clean the rest of this truck. He's as bad as I am. I would say it's complete. You already heard the testing of it. We did a test from a couple of miles away. I drove his truck 2 miles away and transmitted back to my AnyTone. It sounds pretty good on the air, and you notice a big difference. When I keyed up at 8 watts of power, I gave the radio, I think it was like maybe an 8 dB signal, 7 to 8, and with the radio set at 40 watt, it was giving it a steady 9 and sometimes a little over. It's going to work out pretty well. We will do a range test on this. We'll do a test probably comparing AM to FM. All right, but that's it for now until we figure out a route to take to do a range test. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.